So, hi everyone, and thank you again for taking time to join this session. And hopefully this session, I'll try to demystify buy now, pay later, or what we call BNPL, and give you a bit more insights on how buy now, pay later can help drive your business. I'm Sean Tan. I'm the General Manager of hoolah Singapore. hoolah is Asia's leading omnichannel buy now, pay later ecosystem. And at hoolah, we aim to create mutual value through responsible affordability, but also building that through technology and education. So without further ado, let me kickstart. In order for us to kind of understand the impact of buy now, pay later, I think it's important for us to get into the mindset and understand Southeast Asia digital growth, right? So we all know in Southeast Asia, e-commerce and digital growth is through the roof. We have a huge population that's using mobile devices more than ever. And the COVID situation actually expedited some of this growth. And we can see here, the numbers are actually massive. The other thing with the situation right now is with the rapid growth comes rapid changes in consumer preferences, right? A lot of these trends that you're seeing now are really driven by change in consumer preferences. Millennial as a group is massive in Southeast Asia. It's a digital native generation that's using mobile device more and more. They're expecting to be connected all the time. They're also really defining what their preferences are within things that are more digital, more seamless, which mean also more contactless sometimes. The other thing that we have seen also is millennials are starting to want more transparency in the way they spend. Right, they're moving away from the traditional credit card into debit card, which give them a bit much more control and transparency. So now having a bit of understanding of what the market space is right now, let us deep dive and see how buy now, pay later actually drive growth for e-commerce businesses. Let's define buy now, pay later first. I think when we define buy now, pay later, we always think from two perspectives. One, from the consumer perspective, right? From a consumer perspective, it's very straightforward. It allows them to split their purchases into 3 or more interest-free monthly repayments at no additional cost. From a merchant perspective, it's really all about omni-channel conversion solution. And I'll talk about the benefits of from a merchant perspective in my preso as it goes on. The other biggest misunderstanding that I get questioned a lot is, what's the difference between BNPL and installment payment plan? Isn't that just another installment payment plan? Actually, there are some key differences, right? So there are a few points that I'll bring out in terms of the key differences between what we call an IPP, installment payment plan, and BNPL. I'm sure you guys have already used some sort of installment plans before and familiar with that, right? So firstly, BNPLs work with all banks. We work with all cards, and potentially we can work with beyond a card-based payment method, right? So it's not tied into a specific institution that you have a relationship with, or whether the institution are willing to give you a financial product that supports that. So it works across many platforms. The other thing is BNPL is really not just for big ticket items. That's a fallacy. I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, installments, you definitely have to buy a big ticket item to use BNPL. And I will show in some of the markets later, you will see that actually a lot of e-commerce that drives doesn't really have a very high AOV or ticket price for some of these items. At hoolah especially, we work across all sorts of merchants from very low AOV to very high ticket AOV. So we cover a broad spectrum. And I think that's one of the appeal for BNPL. And what it does is actually attracts a younger audience. So we do attract BNPL actually do attract a younger audience, which is around 26, 35, and that's across the board. When compared to IPP, which obviously target much more mature credit card holding carrying demographic, right? The other key difference that people don't kind of see is really the business model. With IPP, their business model is really making money from late payments. So if you actually pay late, they're actually happy about it. On the other hand, BNPL actually we're incentivized that when our consumer pay on time, it's actually better for our business. So from a business model perspective, those are the key differences. So let's talk about the BNPL market on the whole, right? We all know APAC is looking to be the fastest growth region for BNPL, just from the sheer number of mobile internet users. From a global perspective, buy now, pay later is booming, is really booming. In Australia, it already accounts for 10% of all e-commerce transactions. In UK, online purchases using BNPL are growing at a rate of more than around 40% year on year, and that's massive. These stats actually show the potential of buy now, pay later in Asia and the potential growth of buy now, pay later in Asia. And this is actually why. Because right now in Asia, we are only at the beginning of buy now, pay later. It's a forefront, right? So the prediction here is that there is going to be a massive growth rate over the next 5 years. And we are actually, again, just at the starting point. So the growth we are seeing right now is significantly higher than 64% from the prediction that we have seen from multiple players. So what we are expecting is these markets like Singapore, Malaysia, and Japan really going to ramp up usage of BNPL over the course of the next 3 to 5 years. So this is an exciting time for BNPL, but also for consumers and merchants to have to understand this new product, because it's just at the beginning tip, and there's the opportunity for that platform to grow together with your business is actually massive. Why BNPL, right? So why do consumers actually jump on BNPL versus your traditional payment methods? There are a couple of key reasons. First of all, as we say, BNPL is very flexible, right? You're not stuck to a single provider or institution. The other part is it actually works with debit cards and credit cards, which consumers love. You know, a lot of e-commerce miss out on business opportunity with debit card holders because they do not allow many platforms do not allow debit card holders to transact on e-commerce. So they have to think of other business methods. And in Southeast Asia, especially, debit card holders in some of the demographics are really high, and you're missing out on that demographic. It's also very transparent use methods, right? There's no upfront cost, there's no processing cost, there's no compounding interest that you have to worry about. So from a consumer perspective, it is very clean, it is very transparent. The other benefit is actually it helps to maximize the consumer's cash flow and monthly budget. And, you know, of course, our core proposition is to reduce the impact of price by helping shoppers split their purchases into numerous interest-free monthly payments, which give them a bit much more leeway and manage their finances better. So that's on the consumer side. And on the merchant side, the benefits are also quite a bit, right? If you look at it from a merchant front, yes, you guys already know we can help you convert, increase your conversion. We can help you increase your basket sizes. And those are really core elements of why merchants tend to use BNPL for their businesses at this point. The other thing is it actually helps you reduce your CAC, your cost of acquisition. And I will later on share some case studies that will actually showcase some successful case studies that how BNPL actually drives down the cost of acquisition. The other thing BNPL actually does for you is drive traffic to your site. So with more traffic, hopefully then you can convert much more customers. The last thing, the benefit for merchant is actually the repeat purchase, the retention of the customers and encourage them to spend more with you over a period of time. 30% of our first-time hoolah users are making another purchase within the first 30 days from that very first purchase they make. This is just a natural engagement point that we have, which help merchants get that repeat purchase position. So in the long run, it really helps not just reduce your cost of acquiring new customers, but also retaining your existing customers. So we have talked about the benefits from both the consumer perspective and a merchant perspective. Let me take this opportunity to talk about hoolah and introduce hoolah a bit more. The way we kind of work is slightly different from the rest of the competition in the market. We really believe in people and the experiences we create for our consumers, merchants, and partners. And we really embedded into belief in long-term relationship. We're not just here to be another payment gateway. We're really trying to be an ecosystem to help merchants solve their e-commerce challenges and how to drive their businesses. I think that's how fundamentally we are core defined. Our motto also from a consumer end has always been responsible spending and educating consumer how to manage your budget, how to not overspend. That has always been embedded into our business and our philosophy of our business. Using hoolah online is extremely seamless. As you can tell from this slide, is basically you choose your favorite product, you create a hoolah account, you confirm your order, and that's it, you're ready to go. It will show you your first payment and your subsequent payment details. Similarly, from the in-store perspective, it's equally seamless. You download the hoolah app, you go to the store, you scan the QR code, you key in the amount, and again, you get to the details page. And from the merchant front, you actually have a merchant portal that will help you see that you've gotten the transaction was approved and it was successful. One thing that I want to emphasize is, although the consumers split their payments, the merchants do get paid the full amount upfront, which is no difference from when you guys use credit card payment systems, etc. So the payment to you is doesn't change very much from that front. We're currently already integrated to many different e-commerce platforms at this point. So for example, Shopify, Magento, Salesforce, and it's a very efficient integration format. Because if you look at integration, for example, Shopify, within less than 10 minutes, and we have tested it many times, if you're on the Shopify e-commerce platform, we can totally integrate you in less than 10 minutes time. And on the in-store front, it's even more straightforward. We generate a QR code, you put it on your storefront, and the consumer is ready to go once if they are a hoolah user. So with all this integration and all this part, what does it really make, hoolah kind of difference? Apart from the way we manage the business and the philosophy around how we conduct our business. One of our key difference really is our technology that drives our business. Our technology basically is very flexible, is super dynamic. That allows us to rapidly scale into new markets. And the other part is our risk engine. Our risk decision engine actually is in the core of our business and helps to optimize acceptance rates while managing any fraudulent behavior, should there be any, right? And most importantly, we do not rely on third-party data. Everything is in-house, everything is built in-house, everything is done in-house, analyzed in-house. So now understanding that the background of hoolah and how we conduct the business, these are some obviously successful cases and our favorite brand names that have been working with us for a few years, and some of the verticals that we have shown that we have driven business results for. I won't deep dive into this too much because I want to share some case studies with you guys. On hand, I've got two specific case studies. One is Sennheiser. Obviously, you guys must know that Sennheiser has been around for many years, in fact, over 70 years, and it is a family business. And we are very closely linked to Sennheiser Singapore, and we have a very good relationship with them. One thing they struggled with was reaching out to a younger demographic. And they kind of struggle with also understanding and shaping new trends, and they don't quite understand how to kind of capture that audience. So when Sennheiser Singapore kind of came to us, they decided to kind of leverage on our payment system for their online store to help the younger demographic afford the brand price products, right? So which are very competitively priced, to be honest. So in just 5 months, we saw a 300% increase in sales made by hoolah. They also now see more consumers completing their basket purchases, an increase in website traffic from hoolah store directory page to their page, as well as an overall 80% increase in GMV. So, and these are real stats. We didn't inflate this, and we have a very good relationship with Sennheiser. And if you ever come across any team members from Sennheiser, feel free to have a chat with them, and they will attest to the great results that we have driven for them in such a short period of time. The other case study I wanted to share with you is from a slightly different vertical, which is in the fashion vertical, and they have slightly different pain point, perhaps. I think one of the challenges is they're so used to doing discount in order to drive customer acquisition, and they were struggling on moving away from that business model. So what actually happened was, at first when they approached us, they didn't really think we could solve their problem. They really thought they just wanted to offer, a new payment method, a more flexible payment mode for their users, and want to try to entice younger generation of customers to them. But what we actually end up doing is actually help the company do away with discounting, right? Since partnering with us, they have much more success in driving conversions without the need of running extensive promotional programs and campaigns that they used to. And we were also able to drive what they wanted, which is a slightly younger demographic. And in this case, quite a few segment of below 25 years old. And these are some of the results that were driven for them overall. So all in all, with these two case studies, you can see that BNPL have actually helped businesses, not just in a way as in being another payment method. It actually helps with increasing your traffic, increasing your conversion, helping you attract a new market segment. So then I think one question that a lot of people always want to ask me is, oh, there are so many BNPL out there. How do I pick the right BNPL for me, right? So as a business, I think it's important to kind of understand what you need. In order for you to understand, you need to do your research. And I cannot emphasize more. You have to do your research. You need to start thinking about the experience that your shoppers are going to have, right? And what the customer experience is going to be like. Remember, these are your customers at the end of the day. So it's their money, it's their ability to pay, and you want to make sure that the customer service is exceptional. So you really want to control that customer experience piece. So I think from that get start, then you need to kind of well further down and see what your BNPL partner can do for you, right? And we do make the choice when you're selected your BNPL partners. I think it's important to know that you have to inform your customers too. Of course, BNPL partners will also help to inform their customers, but you need to inform your customer base as well, right? Via EDM, the social media. They need to know that you now have a new payment option for them, which makes things much easier, which makes purchasing much more favorable to them. So if you're looking to drive conversion, then your customer needs to be aware that you have a flexible, convenient solution for them. Then when you want to kind of have that idea of already embedding BNPL into your e-commerce, you need to start thinking, how does a BNPL drive traffic or drive traffic to you or give you more visibility? Most BNPL players do have a store directory. So make sure you're on that store directory. However, different BNPL players offer different things, right? Because some BNPL players like hoolah actually drive traffic to your site. Or some other BNPL players actually drive traffic within their site and do the conversion on their sites. So for us, we actually truly believe in your brand experience, and you should be in control of your brand experience. So our job is really to drive traffic to you so that then you can convert your users using our platform. So in all, that's all I've got for you today, and hopefully I managed to kind of at least give you some insight of what BNPL is and how it can help your business and why consumer is attracted to BNPL at this stage, and also demystify all the talks around BNPL at this point. With that, then I hand it back to Noreen. If you have any questions, please feel free to let us know, and I try my best to answer that.
Yes, there's one that came in just now. If you'd like to look at it from your end, you just have to click Q&A. That's right beneath your screen. So this one is from Yuki. Yuki's question is, hi, Sean. Currently, IPP offers 0% interest up to 12 months. However, hoolah offers up to 3 months. For this comparison, what encourages customers to use hoolah?
I think the key differences is IPP is only for big ticket items, right? So and that's not just the business that BNPL are in. We are actually across different price points, as I've mentioned earlier. And that's the key difference for merchants. So if we were to only allow, IPP are only allowed with the high ticket price items, it becomes inflexible. Also, not all IPP platforms are available with all the merchants that offer highly priced ticket items as well. And you need to be tied with certain financial institutes. So there are definitely pros and cons, but for the BNPL, the key business is really at daily usage, right? And that's what we want to drive. It's not so much about high ticket item, but I do see your point when it comes to high ticket items, IPP might be a bit more attractive, but also give you less flexibility on that front.
All right, cool. So that was one question that came in just now, and we'll give them maybe a couple more minutes to just type in if they have any more because, oh yeah, nothing just came in. All right, you guys are amazing. Keep that up. So this one is from Neil. Neil's question is, what is the estimated or average rate on NDR on hoolah?
So we don't really have an average rate or NDR for hoolah that I can share because a lot of it is dependent on the verticals of the clients that you sit in, the type of merchants. Because of what we offer is it has to make sense for a business, right? So certain business verticals has higher EBITDA needs, and we'll look into that. The other thing is also the volume. Volume comes into play. But in general, you're looking at around probably 4 to 8%, depending on the various markets, depending on the type of merchant verticals you're in and the volume that you're driving.
All right, cool. Let's dismiss that. Okay, so we can chat for a couple of minutes before I let you go. So tell me, Sean, how has your whole lockdown experience been?
Oh, that question kind of threw me off. My lockdown experience has been good because at hoolah we are all working from home. So it hasn't really changed over the last few months, but I think, with that slightly smaller lockdown, I think the impact I felt was slightly bigger even compared to the first lockdown. But then also you are a bit more adapted to it. So I became a very homebody during this whole lockdown, right? Because then trying to find things to watch, I become a TV couch potato in the evening because that's all I do. I don't get to go out and socialize. But I know during the opening when we were allowed 5 to go out to dining, I was really maximizing that opportunity to have people contact. I'm a very people-driven person, so I really miss that. So hopefully that will be lifted, and hopefully that we can kind of be a bit much more sociable from a people-to-people perspective in the very, very near future.
But I think being a people person, that must have been hard for you to adapt to right in the beginning. Because for me, I like to think of myself as an introvert/extrovert when I want to be. So like when the lockdown, because I'm actually based in Malaysia, so when the lockdown happened, the first 2 times it was fine. I was actually enjoying, being an introvert. And for some reason, this 3rd time when it came around, I am actually starting to feel the effects of it. I do get lonely sometimes, and it just differs. Like I've been saying throughout the entire day to the audience, it just goes back and forth. So that's been pretty hard to adapt to.
It's a long time. I think the lockdown has kind of been around for almost a year, almost coming to 2 years now. The new things that you can do, you're running out, right? There's only so many sourdoughs you can learn to bake. There's only so many new things that you can learn to stitch and things like that, right? So I think that novelty that, I get my own me time and learn my own things, that kind of wear off. And I think for me, that's why this lockdown is definitely much more difficult. I think in Malaysia, I understand from my Malaysian counterparts, you guys have a very difficult time there. Your lockdown is a bit much stricter than ours. It restricts the ability for you to travel.
The downside of being in Malaysia is that it doesn't always stay strict. I think you know that too. I'm pretty sure you would have heard it. But I think if there's one, plus point that came out of it, I actually started a business when I was in lockdown. But again, like you mentioned, these things tend to wear off. Thank you. These things tend to wear off after a little while. So you'd be like, okay, when can I go out after that? Because you need a change of pace. So hopefully that comes soon. And speaking of which, we have a question that just came in. This one's from Colin. So Colin's question is, how do you think a seller can integrate both a discount system and buy now, pay later into their business as well?
I think at the end of the day, you really need to look at your business objective, right? So what does discounting actually do for you, right? You can definitely use BNPL and use discounting system. And obviously that has some sort of multiplier effect, right? A lot of times BNPL players like us, we actually will help you drive natural traffic in a lot of ways, so that actually reduce your cost of acquisition. So then what does your discounting actually aims to do? Does it bring you back? Does it create repeat purchases, for example, or does it drive new acquisition? And even if it drives new acquisition, what's that cost, right? So yes, you can definitely integrate both together and have a holistic solution towards that. But at the end of the day, you need to understand what business pain points you're trying to resolve, and which part of the business do you think that either discounting system actually drives for you specifically. I think the understanding needs to be pretty data driven from my understanding.
All right, and I think that's very good advice. Okay, Sean, I think we can wrap things up right now. I'm going to thank you for helping me close the show because you're the last speaker for today. And if anything, I think you did an amazing job. It was fantastic. You guys, for those of you who are still watching, let's give him a virtual round of applause in the chat box right now. Sean, I wish you all the best going forward. I hope, things get better from, both our ends, basically. And I can't wait till we can all go out and frolic in the fields again. But
hope to meet you when I'm in Malaysia next.
Absolutely. Please stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day, Sean.
Thank
you so much.
Thanks, Laureen. Thanks for having me again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Exabytes. Grow your business online.